All right, guys, name is Tyler, aka Nanogenix, and today, guys, we are going to be doing a Super Attack 1 to Super Attack 10 comparison for this bad boy right here. As you can see, he is currently sitting at Super Attack 1. He also has no orbs put into him yet, so he has a nice base 120, level 120 unit. These are the three teams we're going to try him out on. Obviously, his premier 150% team. Hopefully, the maintenance tonight on Global. By the time you're watching this, I'm talking about the maintenance yesterday. So by the time you're watching this, the leader skill is out, possibly. There is maintenance tonight. It could be for Dokkan Battlefield. It could be for these leader skills. We never know. Then we're going to try him out on a 120% team. Final Form Cooler should be on Global within like 2 to 3 weeks from now. And then we're going to try him out on a Rose team. So probably the premier team as of filming this video on Global to try this guy out if you don't want to run him on a 70% Broly team. So anyways, a couple things to note before moving forward. We are going to be doing this on the Cell stage because when we did Gogeta, we were doing it on SSJ4 Goku stage, and there was some weird defense stuff going on, which wasn't allowing us to see kind of his full potential. So we'll be attacking Cell Juniors with this guy, as well as because these leaders are so hard to come by, some of the links may get kind of weird. But we should, I mean, for the most part, we still get to see an idea of what these guys do on these three teams, what he does on these three teams, and kind of the big difference between SA1 to SA10. So with that said, let me go ahead, let me get loaded up here. If you're new to the channel, consider hitting that subscribe button down there. And guys, for an Omega SA comparison, consider hitting that like button. Let's rock and roll. Here we are with our first test of the video, our 50% team. Now, obviously, as we move forward in this number is going to be, without question, as we already know, the lowest. So let's just go ahead, let's find out, and let's see what he does. I will try and get him linked up with Cooler for the next time, but as I just got through saying, being able to do multiple tests and reload and get the perfect exact same set is going to be really difficult because of how hard all of these are going to be to find. So anyways, let's see what happens. Looks like 235,000. Again, this is 50%. We're going to have a full solid 70%. Hey, look at him doing a double. Again, I can't include the additional because it is such a chance thing. I probably will just for the heck of it at the end just to kind of look at the numbers. But as far as just a full-on saying this is part of the actual Super Attack increase discussion, probably not completely. So anyways, guys, moving on. There he is at 50% damage, or on a 50% team. Let's move on to 120. Now then, we've got the 120% team locked and loaded. Of course, still at SA1 right now. And we're going to see what he can do. Now, the only unfortunate part here is that on this particular turn, it's not unfortunate. I mean, it's definitely a card you would run. But on this particular turn, we're getting a 40% boost. And I don't know if I can fully guarantee that at SA10, but we will definitely try. So here we go. Let's target. We've got the physical one targeted like we're trying to do in all of these, or like we are doing in all of these. And let's see what he can do on the double 120 team. Now, we should see a pretty, obvious, pretty solid boost from what we saw on the 50%. So let's see. 470,000. Now, the only problem is that with this 40% on the board, we're going to see him probably do close to the same numbers that he will do on the 150. But again, guys, you got to remember he is getting that boost from him. So anyways, guys, there you go. Looks like we did about 479,000. So let's go and let's see what happens at 150. Now then, we've got the 150% double leads team loaded up. I just got through, of course, getting through these three guys. Did not touch this physical unit at all. So we're going to see a pretty accurate representation here of what he will do on a 150% team at SA1. Here we go. We are going to go ahead and just take that physical orb right there. It doesn't really matter too much here. So let's grab our orbs and let's see what Omega does at SA1 on this 150% team. All right, 470,000 at SA1. Let's see how much of that actually transfers over. 469,000, of course, an additional basic to kill off the tech units. Awesome, fantastic. So right under 500k at SA1 on his own 150% Shadow Dragon Arc team. Let's move on. Our Omega is now SA10, as you can see right there. The other thing to note, he does have a flashing star. That is because I had a duplicate of him and went ahead, since he was already reversed, I figured I would feed him in, but as you can see, he has nothing put into him at all. So here we go. Let's hop in on our 50% double lead team. The links are pretty much spot on for for how this was before. So this is perfect. This is perfect. So here we go, guys. SA10 Omega on a 50% Rose team. I don't know. I just feel like, let me guys know down below. I feel like this is like the prime team to run on global. So let's see what he does here at SA10. Before he did what, about 240 or something like that, give or take. So double that would be what, about, you know, I mean, we're looking at 480. That's not bad. That's not bad. I mean, that's over a 200,000 increase. Actually, no, it's not. It's about 150,000, give or take. I can't remember if it was about 240,000 or not. We're going to talk about that in a second. But give or take, close to between 150 and 200,000 increase on damage. So not bad, and definitely going to help you beat events. So let's move on to 120 SA10. Whew. Let me tell you, the search for a cooler, the second cooler was intense. Anyways, we've got the 120 team ready to go. We have him linked with Sin, which is pretty much his best. I mean, that's his best linking character you're going to find. No 40% this time. So we're about to find out if he's going to do more than the 150 like he did last time. Again, before he did about 70,000. We're targeting the physical one, so that way we stay standard. I mean, either one of the physical ones are fine. It's going to be the same amount. So here we go. Let's see what our Omega Shenron does here at SA10 on our 120% team. So if before with the 40% passive going from the other guy, so yeah, he did what, that was what, 800, almost 70,000 before. He did almost like 470 or 80,000. So a 400,000 damage increase is nice. Again, these videos aren't so much about like, should you do it? I mean, you can definitely use these videos to do that, but more about just to see the difference in numbers and just kind of it. I mean, then in the end, it does kind of become a thing of like, okay, which one is better? Also worth noting, Omega just did more than Final Form coolers. So, and that's my SA10 Final Form cooler with orbs in him. So here we go, guys, on to 150, and then we're calculating on the numbers. We've got the 150s loaded up. It's worth noting, Pan is giving a 30% boost to attack and defense right now. Also worth noting, something I'm not talked about, which I'm going to talk about in a second, just because I think it's interesting. Look at that, 350,000 health. That is insane. So we're getting a decent boost on attack this go around. So let's try it out. Let's see what happens. SA10 150% team. Here we go. So it looks like this Omega is going to do more, but this Omega has actually just got orbs into him, but he's only SA5. So once the actual super attack goes off, he should technically do more damage. So let's just see. Let's see how much he does, because obviously you saw going into this, he should do less. You know what I just realized? Luckily that was the physical type, or that would have been a botched test, but we did still attack. Oh, we did still attack. Okay. Whew. That would have scared me. All right, let's see what this guy does. About the same. But oh. Look at that. Orb system. Orb system. Killing it, yo. Killing it. All right, guys. All right, let's go ahead. Let's crunch some numbers and let's take a look at the difference between these super attacks. It is now time to talk about all those numbers we just saw in this video. But first, what happened with that SA5 Omega, and I'm sure a lot of you actually caught it, I didn't at first, is Pan's super attack went off, which boosts her allies by 25%, their attack by 25%. So that, as well as, let's not understate the attribute system, he had a decent amount in the attribute system, put him within 10,000 damage of my SA10 one. So that's what happened there. Just to clear that up, let's move on. Let's talk about all these numbers. I went ahead and grabbed the additionals. There was only one time an additional didn't happen. I'm not going to put that on the screen because we're here to just talk about the actual super attacks, but I am going to still talk about overall damage output too, because that does factor into this. So on a Rose team, Omega at SA1 did 234,848, and the only time in this video did an additional super attack for another 238,062 for a total combined damage at SA1 on a 50% Rose team for 472,910 at SA1 on a 50% Rose team. That's pretty nasty. Then at SA10, he did 434,724, so really close to doing as much damage as both super attacks. And then because this is the one time that he actually killed a Cell Jr. and didn't get off an additional, I just gave an estimated 160,000 for another additional for a combined of around 594,724 damage at SA10 on a Rose team. Then moving on to Cooler, which we're going to talk about Cooler and Omega here in a second, and we're going to talk about why I'm including the additional too. But on a Cooler team, the one time that this doesn't actually move up, this will actually go down next, and we're going to talk about that, but I'm going to get through these numbers first. Cooler, on a Cooler team at SA1, Omega did 479,939 damage, then did an additional for 167,715 to do a total damage on a Cooler 120 team at SA1 for 647,664 damage. Then at SA10, this guy starts getting pretty gnarly. At SA10, he did 878,465 damage, and then an additional of 221,647. It is worth noting that he did have his Sin linked here, which definitely helped, but he also had the Super Boo before with the plus 40% to attack as well as linked up with Final Form Cooler. The combined at SA10 on Final Form Cooler's team was 1.1,112. Then moving on to Omega at SA1, Omega did on his own Dragon Saga team 469,630 damage with an additional 170,228 for a total at SA1 on a I keep wanting to say Fusion Dance, on a Shadow Dragon team of 639,858. Then at SA10, a huge increase, man, huge increase. Which again, this right here, well, we'll just keep moving on. Did a whopping 967,731 damage with an additional of 241,976 for a total combined damage that turn at 1,209,707. So what happened with Cooler? With the Cooler SA1 and the Omega SA1? Well, it's totally links, guys. And I just want to note, this video took a really long time to make because it was incredibly hard to find roses. It was incredibly hard to find coolers. Like, if you guys go check my Twitter, you'll see where I had to put tweets out to get friend codes. I could not find roses. I could not find coolers to save my life. I didn't use Stamina. I went to Boss Rush to do it, but I went through so many rotations of finding characters. Anyways, guys, there you go. That's all the numbers. But what happened there was basically separate links, but I tried to get another one because I was like, I want to try and do this as close as I can, but I literally could not find another one. So again, this is just mostly for fun, just to kind of see what he does. Kind of helps you with deciding if you want to feed Kaizen to him. And the reason why I wouldn't include the additional is because it is part of his mechanic. It is going to happen. You can't bank on it being an additional super, but you can bank on it being an additional attack. And that's going to be the overall damage you're going to see. So at SA10 on his 150% team, you're looking at well over a million, well, not well, but 1.2 million damage. On a Cooler team, 120% team, at 1.1 million damage. And on a Rose team right now on Global that you can actually run almost 600,000 damage from your Omega Shenron if he's at SA10. So anyways, guys, that's today's video. This one was a ton of fun. I got requested this a ton. I do wish that it would have been easier to find all of these leads. So maybe I could have worked in the links to make them exactly line up, because I got some feedback from you guys on the Gogeta, and you guys wanted to see the links exactly line up. So I will, moving forward, hopefully be able to do that. But this one, trying to find these leaders was incredibly hard. Guys, that is today's video. You guys have a great, great day. If you enjoyed this video, consider a like. But if you're new here, consider subscribing. Otherwise, guys, have a great day. Keep on keeping on. Nanogenix, you're signing off. We'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.